You know what? It's beginning to smell a lot like Christmas. It is. It's beginning to smell a lot like Christmas because a couple of days ago was one of our annual Christmas gatherings, one of our important family gatherings on Christmas. And you know, there's a Christmas tradition each year. Every year, somebody always rips a bunker blast. And this year, I was starting to become a little bit disappointed. I was starting to become a little bit disappointed because it was getting late in the evening and it hadn't happened yet. But then the day was saved because we were sitting around watching TV, and guess what? Guess what aroma wafted through the air? That's right. Guess what aroma hovered in the air? It was an SBD bunker blast. That's right. I detected the scent of an SBD bunker blast on Christmas. That's right. Just sitting there, and we all detected it, and the usual gasps, the frustrated gasps were of course to be seen. There was all of the normal reactions. There's the frustrated gasps, the stifled laughter, and the cries of accusation that sprang up throughout the room. and not just one SBD bunker blast, but two SBD bunker blasts. And they were funny. They stunk up the whole living room. They did. And it was funny too. So I give this one about 3 out of 5 stars. So that would be about right for this bunker blast. But pretty much any bunker blast is at least a 3. So yeah, this. There have been better bunker blasts though, even on Christmas. Like I remember the one time, I'll never forget the time about 10 years. It was about 10 years ago, and I actually mentioned this. Now, the rest of my family has repressed bunker blast syndrome because they don't even seem to remember, or they claim not to remember one time about 10 years ago when somebody was really stinking up the place. I mean, that was one of the best series of bunker blasts ever. That's right. Because somebody must have had too many beans that day because they were really gassing the place good with an air biscuit or a trouser sneeze. A whole bunch of them. There's a whole bunch of trouser sneezes. And I remember that time my mom kept saying, it's ruining Christmas. Like, how is that ruining Christmas? It's ruining Christmas. Like, didn't the pandemic of '88 ruin it a lot more? Since I think that was the time that Brossard. Well, first of all, I missed a test at Brossard because of the pandemic of '88, and then like on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day or something, they made me come down to school and retake it. And I ended up failing it anyway. But even if it wasn't for the situation with the test, didn't the pandemic of '88 pretty much decimate Christmas that year? So anyway, that's what really ruins Christmas. Is pandemics. It's a certain Christmas ruiner. I mean, to say that somebody ripping bunker blast ruined Christmas, that would be like if E.T. like if the movie E.T. was ruined because a movie theater smelled bad. Like I remember, like back in the early '80s when E.T. remember E.T. the movie back when that came out? We saw it I guess I was about grade school age when it came out. And we saw it, I think it was at the Erlanger Cinema. E.T. That's right. E, E.T. Phone Home. Remember that? But we saw E.T. once back when it first came out. I think it was the Erlanger Cinema, and it was one of these multi-screen cinemas. And the cinema, the room, the cinema room that we were in, or the one we were in, the one that was showing, the part of the cinema that was showing E.T. It smelled really bad when we were in there. It did. The whole room, the whole room smelled bad. But I remember it. I remember we went to see E.T. and the cinema smelled bad. And I remember when I was in high school, like probably about 8, 9, 10 years after that. And I remember people in school saying it still smelled bad in there. But it smelled bad in there back when I saw E.T. So I mean, to say that flatulence ruined Christmas would be like if I said that the bad smell at the movie theater ruined E.T. That would be like if Steven Spielberg, like if somebody interviewed Steven Spielberg and he said that the bad smell in the movie theater caused every copy of E.T. in the whole world to disintegrate. That's what it's like. That's like if Steven Spielberg says, well, E.T. is a lost film, or if Siskel and Ebert said, E.T. is a lost film because a movie theater in Erlanger, Kentucky smelled bad, which caused every print of the film to disintegrate. Because you know how Siskel and Ebert, sometimes they would have a feature like on lost films, like talking about lost films that become lost. Like every copy of the film is just like there's some old films out there where no copy is known to exist because they're lost, or they're rimming. So there's some lost films out there. I remember Siskel and Ebert talking about them. So anyway, that's my critique of the Christmas Day bunker blasts. I mean, sometimes there's been some Christmas Day or Christmas Eve bunker blasts. Sometimes I remember one year, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I remember a Christmas Eve bunker blast that stunk up the place. That was really funny, but no suspects have been indicted for this first degree felony. So that's the story of people ripping bunker blasts on Christmas. It's a Christmas tradition. Ho, ho, ho.